I've been focusing recently on writing a lot of chamber music. I released a record a couple years ago called Thaw with the Jack Quartet. And in many ways, this is the follow-up to that. There are two pieces on this record. The first one is called Me Versus, a piano solo that I wrote in 2012, and a follow-up piece called Restless for cello and piano that I wrote from 2013 to 2014. This music has represented a big chunk of my creative output for the past few years, and I'm really excited about getting it recorded.
Restless is very intense for both the cellist and the pianist. There's some really beautiful lyrical moments, there's some very jagged, pointy, contrapuntal moments, and there are these just huge waves of sound that by the end of the piece just kind of obliterate any semblance of tonal harmony, and you can really hear the struggle and clash between the two instruments.
Restless is in 4 movements, and I feel that all of them are connected, and they're not meant to be 4 individual pieces, but actually meant to be heard as an arc in totality. And so it starts slowly, kind of revs up quite a bit, and then there's a fall in the 4th movement, which in some ways is the culmination of everything that came before it.
The writing is really great for a cellist, and the collaboration between Karl and I, between piano and cello also. There was a lot where we could be successful in how we wanted to phrase things and trajectory. And because it's a lengthier work, there's more opportunity for musical ideas and sort of a thought from not only the beginning of each movement to the end of each movement, but from the beginning of the piece to the end of the piece. And I felt like I was going back to what I had studied all those years ago and able to bring that knowledge to a newer piece. As a collective journey, it's a huge piece, and it's something that not only I feel, but the audiences who played it for. The number one thing that we've heard is that this is a major addition to the repertoire.
The partner piece on this recording is Me Versus, which is a 3-movement work for solo piano, which I premiered in November of 2013 in Brooklyn. And at that point, I'd been working on it for over a year. At first, it was really slow going. It took a long time to get all of these really complicated passages and rhythms together, but the ends definitely justify the means for me in this piece, and it's, I think, one of the more substantial elements of my repertoire.
The first movement is a really long-form, dramatic arc. It's the longest part of the piece, and maybe in some ways the crux of it. There are 2 movements that follows. The second one felt important to me that anyone could play it. It's just a small moment in time, which I feel good about in its simplicity. The third movement swings completely the other way, is one of the most difficult things that I've written, probably, and it's the kind of thing that pianists have looked at and said, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Karl spent a year largely working on that third movement, but also working on the piece in general, and it's just been such an amazing thing to see this piece that in some ways in my head was, will this be possible? And then watch it come to fruition slowly over that time period. We decided to put this piece on vinyl. The reason for that is that vinyl really encourages you to sit down and listen to something for 20 minutes at a time.
It's kind of this classic approach to art music. You know, you have one big piece on one side of the vinyl and you have one big piece on the other side of the vinyl.
Being able to work with musicians of the caliber of Karl, Larson, and Ashley Bathgate is something that every composer dreams of. It's amazing to have a truly blank slate where you can write whatever you want and these musicians are able to play it. It's also a challenge because you're not directed in any particular way or to think, oh, okay, yeah, these guys do this kind of thing or this person does this. No, you've got a wide open canvas, so you really have to sit and think, what is it that I want to accomplish with this music? Because I know that these performers can make it happen.